Hello, everybody. Senior votes matter. Woo! So, hello, everyone. You're tuning in to another exciting episode of Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, I am so excited to bring you this program today. We know as our city is going through many changes, our country, it is also now the current time for the Democratic National Convention. So what does that mean? We have the man himself, a good friend of Senior Talk is joining us, and we're also in the process, and I can tell everybody, of planning one of the biggest events that I can say I'm responsible for this year. Our platform is taking new direction. We're launching, and I tell you, it's going to be one. We're launching something called Senior Votes Matter. What does that mean? We're going to be working with many community leaders across this country, in your local city or state where you're hearing this broadcast, because we know our older Americans are underserved. They have been forgotten. A lot of them have not been given the tools necessary to encourage their better quality of life. Many older Americans are calling and reaching out to Senior Talk to say, hey, we have not had well-being checks. We have not had the tools needed to keep us safe in our residence. So we're going to make a big community impact on this Senior Votes Matter piece. I'm telling you, it is with no regard. We are not taking off any hindrances. We're going to make sure that we partner with the Board of Elections, the Secretary of State. We're going to make sure that our old Americans have their IDs in place. And if they want to do a mail-in ballot, what that will look like, as well as if they choose to go to the polls, because that's a traditional form of casting your ballot. So we're going to take it all. We're going to be going to the community. I want to give a special shout out to a community right now that is doing a great thing in Chicago called the Community Builders Oakwood Shores. I talked to a beautiful sister there named Jasmine, who's taken on a really big initiative, and they hit the grounds recently in their community telling seniors, hey, wake up, let's make a decision. How do you choose you want to place your ballot? And so I was very excited to say, hey, let's make this initiative grand. So if you're tuning into this broadcast, let me tell you, we have a press conference that we're putting together. And then we're going to do one in your local state. We're looking to go to the Midwest right now. I'll go international if needed. Trust me, I will do that. But we want to partner with those in Indianapolis, as well as Illinois, Missouri, and Texas. Now, that's not Midwest, but I'm just saying, we want to partner with everyone. Or if we can't come, we can do it virtual. We'll have a virtual town hall. We'll have a virtual event that will put us in place together to work to make sure that older Americans know that senior votes matter. So coming up in a couple of days, you're going to be seeing some new information about it. We have a website coming up. Thank you to Graphics 2, who's putting that together. Also, our media partners, 316 Magazine, as well as Trez 12 Media. They're all putting together a beautiful virtual component that can go with you via your phone. We're going to have vote numbers and things you can use for text messages. We're going to keep you abreast on how we can serve you. So I'm very excited for that. Now, I do have a guest, but until he arrives, I'm going to do my thing and what I do. Now, we know also that coming up very shortly, the month ahead is going to be very busy. I am very excited to say that we're going to be doing something called the Senior Votes Matter Caravan. And what does that mean? We're going to take the community across the world. We're going to move into a phenomenal dynamic where we're working with older Americans, and we're going to also celebrate Grandparents' Day, which is September 13th. So please, Grandparents' Day is September 13th. Please make sure that you are honoring your grandparents if they're with us or not. We got a big campaign we're going to be introducing you to on that in a few short moments. But let me tell you, I am honored today because I have with me my guest, a good friend of Senior Talk, and we're going to make some real big community efforts across this country because He is Mr. and Reverend Wendell Harris, Senior. Am I correct?
You're absolutely right, Ms. Hubbard. Thank you for having me on your show today, and especially for this conversation about grandparents.
Absolutely.
I am a proud, happy grandfather, great-granddaddy, and a papa. So my wife and I, we have several grandchildren. They are the love of our lives. And
absolutely.
We have to cherish our grandchildren and certainly look out for our grandparents. So
absolutely. So I'm excited. I didn't even know we were going to get on that, but you just kicked that off for us. So that's good to know.
Well, because when I heard about this program, this theme you got coming up, I got excited. I'm sorry.
Oh no, not a challenge at all. So
nerve, you hit the right nerve.
Fantastic. So let's do this. We're going to talk now. One of the big campaigns that we are preparing to launch, and that is already out, is the thing that we know across this country and world is that senior votes matter. And I am overwhelmingly putting together a phenomenal team. I am so excited because we're going to be doing the outreach. I've been talking to people earlier who've mentioned that they are going to be doing community town halls. We're going to make it a virtual one through many platforms across the country so that seniors and communities can share this platform that Senior Votes Matter, getting them to the polls. Do they choose to mail in ballot and all that stuff that comes with it? But currently, you're sitting in a very, very distinguished seat because you are president of the NAACP Conference of Branches. What does that mean? And also the home of the current Democratic National Convention. So just fill us in where you would start.
Well, I'm president of the Wisconsin Conference of Branches. We, and all over the country, we have NAACP branches. But a lot of folks don't, it's just not on people's radar, is the fact that in our states, all of our branches have the conference is where all of the branches go for their leadership. I'm the head of the NAACP in Wisconsin, and that's only because the people in Wisconsin have confidence enough in me to know that I'm going to give my best when it comes to fighting for our people's right and our lives. So that's the role I play. We are an organization. Some folks don't like to use the phrase top down, but frankly, top down, for the most part, helps, in my opinion, to have an organization that's strong and organized.
Yeah, tell the truth.
That's what it is. I'm the leader. The branches support me. Without their support, there would be no leader and there would be no organization. It would be chaos.
Yeah.
So that's the role that I play, and I'm very fortunate to be in this position.
So at this time,
and I also serve on the national board. So
okay.
So that's another part of my work. But it's been a long time coming, a long time civil rights activist, and this is where I find myself. And right now we got an election to win.
Hey, tell the truth.
Yes.
We need boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. You are so right. So knowing you are in such a leadership and knowing the visibility that the NAACP has had across the country for many years, how has the outreach been during this COVID? How difficult has it been difficult for your organization communicating to people, or what has been your plan through the COVID?
We had to, we old hands at getting the word out. I almost said experts, and we have some experts working in our organization, and all of our organizations get out the vote campaigns and organizations around the country. I've had the privilege to someone that actually the person introduced me to you, Joan Hollingsworth. She and I did a lot of work over the years, and she and I led campaigns in Wisconsin before she left Wisconsin and moved over to Illinois. So I've had the privilege of working with some really good people, and I have a long time union background, and in the union movement, that's where a lot of us were trained to do all of our activism, and so that was a part of my younger life growing up. So it's just been my life fighting. And the NAACP had to pivot with this COVID-19 situation. We can't do what we traditionally did. Now we are doing this work online. Just like you and I having this conversation today.
Yeah.
You and I right now, we are advocating. We're getting out the vote.
That's right.
So those folks that watch your show that don't, and I know our seniors do, but there's some of the young folks that are watching today. They don't like to tell us, but they're on the line trying to figure out what you're doing. And we're going to convince them to go to the polls on November 3rd.
Praise the Lord. So, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we're talking, and I'm talking and speaking on behalf of seniors and their voting rights. But there are many youth who are not being addressed during this campaign season, their wishes and their desires to hear the things that they want to hear to place their vote. So that's maybe discouraging them. Is there anything that we could do to encourage them to come out?
Well, we have to constantly just try to get the message out to our young people and us older folks who don't take advantage of our fight, the fight that we won to vote. We fight to get this right. And many of us don't take advantage of it. But it's like you come up on people like yourself and myself that we have to continue to just try to help people understand the importance of their vote, because the big challenge that a lot of our people face is that they just don't believe that their vote counts.
Yeah.
And frankly, I take, us people from my generation, we all say in a minute, well, we fought for you, and now you don't. But to a degree, we have to take some responsibility for our youth feeling that way, in that we may not have delivered as much as they feel that we should have. And that's but we cannot give up.
That's right.
Okay, we're going to go along with that. Because you and I know, Ms. Hubbard, that your vote is your capital.
Yes, sir.
Your capital, your the most cherished right that you have. And if you could put a $sign on it, on your right to vote, there are people who would pay you dearly for your right to vote. If you could just transfer that right over to them, they would give you a substantial amount of money, because what they'll be getting is a right to control your life, every aspect of your life. And that's what voting does.
Yeah. Whoever
has the power to make the policy, as a former policymaker, I was an elected school board director. And we know that in the school districts all over the country, our children suffer because we don't have enough power, the level of policy making on the school boards to make policy that benefits the children that needs help the most, which are Black and brown children and white children who live in poor communities. Because the people who control the dollars, the purse strings, they don't care. They really don't who they hurt, as long as they keep control of the money.
Right.
Go into a white community where everybody's poor, you find the same conditions you find in our communities. And we have to acknowledge that the fight is getting those folks to understand that they should be in bed with the Black community and fight for their own rights and their right to have economic development in their communities and the other resources that communities deserve in America, being the richest country in the world.
So what has been the energy, even though I know most of the convention participation has been virtual, what has been the energy in Wisconsin right now?
Well, Wisconsin is a battleground state. We are so disappointed that the convention did not take place in Milwaukee the old way, but it's still going on.
It's going on.
I think I watched more of the convention on television than I would have if it was live, to be honest. And I think that a lot of people who would never had the opportunity to experience, who will never have the opportunity to experience live convention, Democratic convention, some things this week that they never would have seen. And I think a lot of folks were reached in this process that wouldn't have been if it had been live. Yeah, we would have had all the noise and the bells and the whistles down.
Right.
I think that the population of people who view this campaign will greatly exceed what would have been if it had been live. But that's just my speculation. But let's give it a week or so, and we'll see if I'm right.
Okay.
I really believe that's the case.
Yeah, I do know, and I've seen even some of my communities of seniors that I work with were saying that it was a good way for them to feel as if they were participating because it was virtual. And it was very personable stories. And I think they were able to do more outreach safely, videotaping the experiences and, those talking about the COVID process and losing a loved one and, all the stuff that comes with it. But the personable touch was really felt as I was watching. Is there any person that you heard so far that was like dead on spot with how you feeling right now?
I had a friend who passed away a few years ago, an old friend who was a mentor of mine. And before he died, Obama came into office. He had a way with words. He had this speech. I wouldn't say an impediment, but he just talked funny. And when he would mention Obama, he said, "That bomber boy."
Yeah.
I thought that bomber boy was the second coming. Well, and anytime I see that bomber boy, as my old friend would call him, I think about my friend who passed on. Obama never leaves you wondering. When he finishes a conversation, he's made his point.
Yeah.
It's made. And exactly that last night. And I'm one of those criers, I'm one of these old folks that my wife just gets so tired of me crying. But where we came, have this conversation with you. I get a little emotional because I appreciate what you're doing so much in your work, working with seniors, because so Obama, I'd have to give him the number one spot. His wife does it. I don't know if you can, she's right there with him. But I'm very impressed by Joe Biden's wife also. I'm really impressed by her. I think I know she will make a great first lady, especially after what we've had for this past 4 years. I'm not, disparaging the first lady, the current first lady, but, I look for a little something different in that personality. And I look for something different in the personality of our commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
That's what we are. In America, we've allowed ourselves, not allowed, because the people who stole the election in 2016 with the help of the Russian oligarch Vladimir Putin, because they have a plan. Putin and this current president do have a plan to control the world. We allow it to happen, that's on us. But that's the plan. And they're two gangsters. And we have to fight this one, and we have to win it.
Yeah, we do. So it's going to take everybody.
It's going to take all of us.
And I like you. I know I sometimes go to communities, and I do to senior town hall meetings, especially when we're in the primary phases, just to get people ramped up to get to the general election. And I will have some seniors who, just as you mentioned, say, well, girl, my vote just ain't going to count. I don't know. And I'm saying, why would you even say that? Because it only takes one vote to change.
Only one vote. Take it from an old politician that every one vote counts, because we cannot win without that one.
That's right. So,
yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
So what is the plan of action? How can the community participate and support the NAACP in your efforts? Where do we go from here?
Well, not only just in Wisconsin. We got a great organization in NAACP in Illinois. You got a great state conference president.
Oh yeah.
So she's got some things going on over there. So what you can do is, that as a community, we have our Get Out the Vote campaign. We have a phone banking campaign. We're making it available to, and this is a big deal now with this new system, who have not been able to help directly in a campaign, who say you're at home and you're not able to get out and knock on doors. Now we're making phone banking available to everybody. Your seniors, you get you hooked up in the building, in one of your buildings, where every senior in that building can just go on their phone and make calls. And I'm sure the state conference president in Illinois has been reaching out to some of your senior organizations, and if not with you, we're gonna make sure that you get hooked up with her.
Absolutely, because look, if nothing else, we like to talk on the phone, so we can handle that.
That president get together so she can get you hooked up to do get your seniors to making phone calls and helping us to get out the vote.
Absolutely,
we're gonna have to. This is gonna have to be a grassroots campaign, meaning that all of us have to get out here and just make it happen, because we cannot depend on the powers to be to get us out of this mess, because they got us into it. So any senior who feel that his or her vote is worthless, take it from Minister Harris. I'm not a pastor, and I don't say reverend. I'm just a minister that gets out here and minister to my people and do what I can to help, as my parents and as the world dictate that we do support each other, because without each other's support, we all perish.
That's right.
We have to take on these folks who believe that they have every right to all of the resources, the people who want to keep us in bondage, who right now are planning ways and looking for ways, if they have their way, back in slavery, literally.
Yeah.
People don't like to acknowledge that that's what's happening, but it is. So we have to fight.
And fight, but we also have to be receptive to information. Yes, we have to be willing to learn, because we are in the new normal, period.
Yes, to a degree.
Yeah, and so we have to be responsible for those around us. I think a good way that I'm going to be working is we're going to have, like you mentioned, we're going to have community captains on behalf of Senior Talk in our senior buildings. Oh, wow. So if there's any issues, we need to ramp them up. What I am also doing, I have a press conference next week, and we're making sure that we have the Board of Elections, the senior census count, as well as the Secretary of State present. If you can't come or they can't come, they will bring a representative. But I need the faces and information, a one-pager to the senior communities. They don't need to read 9 pages and go through all that. We don't have that kind of time. Tell me what my dates, what my deadlines are. Do I need to stamp? If I don't have the dash in my name and I got married, have I moved? All of that is going to be addressed through Senior Talk. We're going to keep them lined up. They're going to be ready. They're going to be strapped with the information.
You got to get me hooked. You should go around the country and franchise this Senior Talk. You got to teach us some of that.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Because, I won't always be able to lead the organization. I'm going to have to slow down in a year or two. I'm old as heck, but I got a little help.
You're not old. You're getting better with age. Don't say that.
Well, my point is, I don't want to ever stop helping my people.
That's right.
If I'm able to help seniors like myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose that opportunity. So I'm calling you out now.
Yes, sir.
Do a little teaching. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's my, I'll be glad.
I'm still open to learning.
I like that. And, one of the people that I'm really excited is we have some great senior advocates that are going to be joining us locally in our states. But I have one in Chicago specifically. There is a gentleman named William Scott. William Scott is a young 79.
Okay. Yeah.
He is boots on the ground. Okay. And he has a saying in his senior building. I have seen it personally, where he says, we have 100% registration and 100% turnout in my building. That's his responsibility. I seen him walk from the top to the bottom when we do rallies in the buildings, because I ask community leaders, if you're looking for a senior vote, come and sit with us. But I ask the seniors, please, let's be mindful. Let's not let someone come to the building and we don't have a plan of action. Okay. So I need the candidates or the seniors to say, hey, these are our top 3 things that we would like in a candidate. And then they ask them. I don't want anybody coming in the building and say, well, I'm running for office and we're going to do this. No. Here are my concerns in this zip code where I reside.
There you go.
And here's what I need from you. So William Scott is doing that. And then there's also something that we're initiating where you need to know what we call your top 5, i.e. your state rep, your alderman, if there's a precinct captain, your commissioner. We need to know these people who are responsible for us.
Okay.
Because we are their constituents. Call them. Go to we can't do it now, but go to when they have the constituent nights. You should go. So they will know your face and who you are. And we just fail to take those things into account. So everything's going to be virtual. We're putting a good platform together to launch in September, but our press conference is coming up in a few days. And we're going to share it with the community because we want our older Americans. They are getting better with age. I have people who are 92, 105. How do I help, Claire? What they can get on the phone. We like to talk. So we can get that phone bank going. I'm with you on that one.
Okay. So let me clear me up here. Are you in Illinois or Indiana?
Well, I'm in everywhere. I am actually currently broadcasting in Indianapolis.
Okay.
But I can be anywhere as long as it's called WWW. We can be anywhere in the world.
Because I kept telling you about your president over in Illinois. Teresa Haley's your president in Illinois.
Yeah.
NAACP State Conference president, and Barbara Bowling is the president of the Region 3, which is our region is Region 3, Illinois, Indiana. Barbara Bowling is our chair of our Region 3 organization, which is 7 states. She's the region, and she's from Indiana. So I give Barbara Bowling a shout out because she's been a great leader that I've worked with many years. So yes, what you do in this senior talk, I'm going to share a little bit with your audience about what happened here in Milwaukee in the April election. Everybody was saying don't go out and vote because it's going to put you in harm's way from COVID-19. Well, initially, the Wisconsin Conference NAACP took the position that we were not going to not go to the polls. So we said keep the polls open.
Yeah.
And we stuck to that position before Tuesday. And we backed off because the numbers just kept going up. But the people that hear our voice, they said, no, we're going to the polls. I mean, in seniors.
Yeah. Yes.
Primarily in this city. And they voted. They voted in numbers that we had not done in the past recently.
Wow.
Out of that, because some of us seniors said, no, we're not going to let this turn us around because a lot of us know of our own parents who died trying to vote, Well, with that happening, and you'll hear a lot of talk about it, but in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we now have a Black city attorney, which is something that I never thought would happen. We elected an African American chair of the county board of the county, African American, and now we have a young African American sitting at the helm of which is our alderman. We have all the automatic districts chair of the aldermen. Those 3 positions, and we were able to elect a progressive Supreme Court justice. And a lot of that happened because us, old Black folks, said no matter what this thing is, they call it pandemic or whatever, but we go in and vote. The spirit that drove us to the polls. Many of our grandparents, I remember when my parents were having conversations about which one of them could pay the dime so they could go vote. That was a conversation I sat and listened to my parents have as a child.
Wow.
You just go one generation behind me, that people know, and not a whole generation, people still being lynched for trying to vote when I was a kid.
Wow.
So yes, the vote, don't take it lightly. So anyone out there who's not convinced, trust in Ms. Hubbard and this old warrior. That's our right, and we're not going to give it up under no circumstances.
Well, let me say we are running short on time. We're going to revisit this because we'll have you back for Grandparents Week.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do that. So everyone, if you're looking at the scrolling and if you're tuning in from across the world, you're listening to Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard and Mr. Minister Wendell Harris, Senior President, NAACP Wisconsin Conference of Branches. He's a friend of our show. He will be joining us again. And let me just say, for everyone who was listening to this program, for more information, please visit seniortalkmedia.com. We love to share. We like to hear who's tuning in because we want to be a part of your life. But as I close out my show always, in complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separate us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. I'm your granddaughter of the community. It's been my pleasure to serve you, and we will see you next time for Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard. Everyone take care.
Thank you, granddaughter.
My pleasure.